Hello, thank you for joining me. I'm Laura with Pizzazz Your Voice Studios, and this is part 2 in a series of information that will help you to improve your performances in front of live audiences. Many times we'll get nervous before a performance, and that nervousness kind of exasperates us and it changes our body rhythms. We find ourselves taking shorter breaths and we kind of feel like, oh, if I could, I would get out of here. Our mind starts to whirl and we think about ways that we can just not have to face this performance that we're about to do. We don't consciously try to get out of it, but there's a little part of our brain that kicks in that's really trying to help, and that part of our brain is the part that's causing a lot of trouble. When you are recognizing this nervousness kind of taking over, the best thing you can do is take deep breaths. I know it sounds trite and you've probably heard it 100 times, but let me explain why it's so useful. When our bodies are oxygenated only in the shallow part of our lungs, like we get from taking short breaths, we actually don't get oxygen into the area of our brain that processes our conscious thoughts. We're actually feeding a mechanism in the lower part of the brain that is related to fight or flight, and it's a panicky kind of part of our brain. When we continue to breathe short, quick breaths, we're not taking advantage of the full space in our head that has all kinds of override mechanisms to that. So by taking deep and long, slow breaths, we're actually oxygenating the part of our brain that's going to help us to relax. Just try one of these, for example. We're going to just breathe in real slow through the nose. Hold the breath and then blow out through the mouth like a little tiny O. A little more. A little more. And in again. Hold it, and release. Slowly, slowly, a little more, and in. More in, hold it, and slowly out. Already, I'm sure that you can tell there's a different state that's occurring in your brain. Just the calmness that you experience by changing your breathing is enough to help you to realize that there's no reason to be afraid of that audience. There's no reason at all to get nervous. Just use breathing to your advantage and understand that it has a lot more to do with your physiology than it has to do with your psychology. Tune in for more tips like these at pizzazzyourvoice.com.